Going.
Hello world. So I have DJ Hoffman here.
Hello.
Hoffman with an O.
Yeah.
And Hoffman is in Logicoma.
Yes.
And yeah, he has
I've got the paraphernalia.
Is it called a beanie hat? What?
No, this is a snapback.
Snapback.
Snapback cap.
I'm not current with all the slang on your British.
Neither am I. I'm 41 years old, so so
you're out of it.
So yeah, so thankfully, the cumulative age of Logicoma brings me down a few years, so it works out quite well for me.
All right. Anyways, we're going to talk about the Meteoriks awards. You guys won 2 awards.
Yes.
So how was that like?
A bit of a surprise, if I'm honest. Yeah.
You already won something last year, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
You should have been expecting something.
Well, yeah, I kind of had suspicions about maybe one category that we may well have done, but I didn't expect. I don't think either of us expected the 64K. If I'm honest.
You expected Conspiracy to win that one?
I think both of us kind of did. All 3 of us kind of did, but it's
a jury. I mean,
it's the jury.
It's like 3 people, so it kind of. I think it's 3 people. I'm not sure.
I think
it depends.
The thing is, I was also part of the jury.
So it's 3 people.
It's like 3 to 4 depending.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's up to human interpretation.
Yeah.
It's subjective. It's not.
It is subjective, but at the same time, the people that are in those juries know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not like, you've got like.
There's not singers, and they.
Yeah. They know their
specifically
stuff.
For the platform. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
But still, Conspiracy had a very kick-ass 64K, and they've been doing 64Ks for a very long time. And this one specifically had this awesome direction and soundtrack and all that juice. It really felt like it deserved something. It got an award. For this is not possible on that platform.
Direction
category. Oh, was it direction?
Direction.
Yeah, direction. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's true.
Which to be fair, from my standpoint, that's their strong point. Like in terms of direction, second to none. Awesome.
How does it feel to have the best 64 kilobyte soundtrack tool out there? Because everyone is fucking using Saber now. What's up with that?
In fact, to be fair, because we went public with it and open sourced it start of this year.
How many entries did you have here using Saber? Like 4, 5?
There was 2 64Ks with it and 3 XE Music entries with it. So this is good.
And everyone I talked to was like, yeah, Saber is like miles away of everything else in 64K soundtrack. You can either have a mod or you can have Saber. What would you prefer?
I know. Well, I would always prefer Saber.
Or 64 Clang, but 64 Clang is a bit heavy, like CPU intensive. At least when I tried
well, it's the I think the kind of.
Few people have used it though.
The thing about Saber, in terms of personally, for the way I use it, is the workflow in terms of how you would So if I wrote a tune in Ableton or Cubase or whatever, then I would write that tune with a selection of plugins. With synthesizers, effects units, and I'd use automation and I'd put MIDI data in. And the way Saber is constructed it's exactly the same workflow. So for me, it was so familiar.
I was talking to someone, I don't remember who anymore. Maybe it was Branch or Nobby, I don't remember. They were saying that Saber looks and feels like it was made by musicians and not by coders. Which is what 64 Clang and 4 Clang feels like. Apologies to Alcatraz guys.
No, don't get me wrong. Right, there's some stuff that 64 Clang does that I'm insanely jealous of. Right, that thing is it's like the Swiss Army knife.
But in terms of workflow, it's easier for musicians
to work with. Yeah, because it's that plug-in mentality. You've got your devices, and you can plug them in and put them in any configuration you want. So I think that's our unique selling point, our USP, I guess. So yeah. Yeah.
So we already talked about the Meteoriks. You got 2 awards on
Yes.
Meteoriks.
So we got best soundtrack for
Well, that was
Bros.
easy to get with Wave Saber. That was obviously they're gonna get the best way soundtrack. What was the other one?
But the other one was best 64K.
Best 64K.
Yeah, which was Trash Panda.
Trash Panda.
Yeah. Which was interesting because actually, in terms of soundtrack, I know everyone really vibed off of Bros Before Foes. But,
Let's not confuse that with Bros Before Hoes.
No,
like I
no,
said previously
no,
before.
no,
It's Bros
he-
Before Foes.
He got that wrong.
Yeah, I
That
got
was
it completely wrong.
So wrong. I mean, everyone felt like that was like it's really energetic and like it really
But
kind of worked with people. But
how much did you do the soundtrack for Bros Before Foes? Was it you or was it Ferris? Because I had the impression it was Ferris that did that.
And a lot of that was a large chunk of that was a lot of my work.
Okay.
Ferris kind of like popped in and. Because the thing is with the soundtracks that we do within Logicoma, it's
go back
massive.
and
It's
forth.
massively collaborative. Someone will work on something, and then we'll throw a preview in, and that will spark
And
someone else
will
off.
pick
or
it up.
I mean, in particular with the Bros soundtrack, I did a lot of the work, and then Ferris jumped in, and then added like a lot of crunch to certain sounds, and then he did the mastering and the mix down on that thing, which is why it's so freaking loud. Like he just made it like loud, like really loud.
Isn't that just adding a compressor?
No, he did a lot of work. He spent like a good 2 days just on the mix down.
Okay.
That's credit to that man. That's the thing that we really love about the way we work is that all of us can kind of dip into those areas. In terms of music, we can always one of us will be able to hop in if someone's busy.
Yeah,
the other one can
really
jump
cool.
in.
And it's like 3 of you guys doing music. It's you, Ferris, and Wobble. So
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can really.
Yeah, we can all dip in and stuff. So yeah, I mean, all of the soundtracks that we've done for the past however many years, we've all kind of touched them in some way. That sounds seriously wrong, but but you know what I mean.
We touched it in so many ways,
I know,
ways
I know.
that you would not imagine.
Yeah, show me on the soundtrack where it touched you.
Anyways, let's talk about the revision.
Yeah.
Your name was in a lot of entries here.
Yes, yeah. So the one by Ivory Labs and Quadrip. That was actually going to be my XE Music entry for this year.
Why wasn't it on the XC Music then?
Because obviously we've got a Wave Saber Slack channel, and they'd integrated the synth into their toolchain.
Toolchain, yeah, using Unity. And stuff.
And then 2 weeks before the party, couldn't find a musician, so I tapped up Branch and went, well, I've got this. Will it fit? And they went.
You could reuse it, put it on 2 compos. No.
Now that I have a
you
very
have principles.
I have a very specific principle about that, because the thing is, I don't really want to go on about it that much, but I don't like the idea of a soundtrack for a demo. Them being in a music competition.
But it's happened a lot of times before.
I know it's happened a lot of times before, but the problem is that the thing that bothers me about it is that if your soundtrack then gets into the top 3, you are probably denying a top 3 position for someone who has specifically spent their time and
Just
energy
doing the music
to
not
do music for a
soundtrack.
competition. So yeah, that's why I think
it's a bit of a philosophical question though.
Yeah, I know. It's a very back in the early days of the scene, you would find the winning demo would also win the graphics compo and the music compo.
Yeah, and even in this party we saw that happen.
Yeah. See. So that's why. See, I'm not. I just. It's a personal
thing.
It's a personal principle thing for me. I wouldn't do it. I was lucky enough in this instance because obviously I play with Wave Saber quite a lot, so I've got a little bit of a bank of half-finished projects and stuff. So
Yeah.
I had something. So I knew straight away that if I gave them that, I had something else that would go in, which worked out quite well because the tune I had for the Exy Music compo was something that had no drums with it. And
Who needs drums?
well, this is it was also like it was an interesting experiment because I think both myself and Savannah had listened to it and thought, actually, yeah, this kind of works in the way that it does. And then it's just quite nice.
You're coming over to the dark side, to the people who don't use drums in any of their tracks.
Yeah.
We hear the drums in our heads.
Yeah. No, but I think I did get a few comments afterwards going like, it's one of those tunes where you end up with imaginary drums, or you can put your own like you listen to it like it's still rhythm.
I can do a remix now. I put some drums on this.
But you can do that whilst you're listening to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what other? I saw your name in some Amiga demos as well.
Yes. Well, an Amiga demo. It was the TBL demo called Eon.
It was fucking massive.
It was So
what a fucking great Amiga demo compo.
Yes. The compo itself was amazing. Loads of great
And
entries.
the demo itself was amazing from TBL as well.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been in their Slack channel for the last 4 odd years. So
Since the beginning that they started working on this demo.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't signed an NDA, but it felt like I had.
So you were recruited early on.
Very much so. Yeah. So I think we could probably credit Booster, of all people.
Okay.
Because I think I went to Tresac 4 or 5 years ago, and he just sat me next to Emoon. And we got chatting, and he was like, "Well, I'd like
you do music for Amiga, eh?"
Yeah, it's Amiga music." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." But yeah, so like, we became like really good friends, and we chat a lot, about coding and music and all sorts of stuff.
It's really an awesome demo. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the whole compo had so many different groups, like either coming back or still active. It was really something.
Yeah.
It was really something
Really good.
And you're originally an Amiga scener, so you should really love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Obviously, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all. 12 minutes in. Holy shit, we talk a lot.
No drums.
Thanks for the interview, Hoffman.
Excellent. Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye.